Good morning and happy Monday. Welcome back to the Daily Grind. I'm your host, Chump Change. This is live and recorded. For anybody that might be new here, what we typically do is go over crypto news in the space, update myself, bring you guys along for the ride. Sorry, my kid woke up like 3 seconds before I was about to go live, so I had to situate her. All right, let's see who's here in the chat, and then we will get into this. Mr. Fully Electric, good to see you, buddy, my man. Mr. Tim I Am Crypto, we got Andrew Masad, Rob Mines, good morning, sir. Let's see who else is in here. Lawnmower Man, Charles Harris, GT Man, good morning. Good to see you. Vinny, my man. Crypto Craig, what's up, dude? We have Black Hat Team, Backwards Miner, Dakota Miner, Mining to Fill My Bags. I still love that name. It is my favorite name in the chat. All set, what's up, dude? Good to see you. Galaxy, good morning. All right, let's get into this. We have Bitcoin looking like a $64,131 Bitcoin. That is insane. That's insane from last week, man. We had some crazy pullbacks. Didn't we get to 50? What was it, 57? Maybe lower than that, 56k. Crazy. Perfect. We have Ethereum at 3,144 bucks. Let's see, Solana's at $153. LTC is at 81 bucks. We got Caspa at 11 cents. Let's see what else. What else is sticking out at us? Link is up to $15, 5.32% up on the day. We have XRP at 53 cents, Dogecoin at 16 cents. Everything is looking really good. This BitTensor over here, 466 bucks, up 6.93%. Looking pretty good. Looking pretty good today. What do you guys think? Is everybody buying? We're looking like, Hawk, what are you doing awake? Go back to sleep. Good morning, bud. All right, let's see. On the day, biggest earner. Look at this WorldCoin. WorldCoin, top of the list, or top of the bubbles here, I guess. 16.5% up on the day, $6.28. We have Jupiter up 7.7% to $1.14. Let's see, Conflux up 3.8% today. We have Fetch AI rather to $2.41. Sorry, up 9.3% on the day. Let's see, ENA up 13% to 90 cents. This is Athena. HBAR is up 8.6%. Interesting. There was some talks. Was it Friday? There was some talks about HBAR and BlackRock stuff. I don't know. I know there was FUD that kind of pushed this coin up and like out of the ballpark last week, and then it went away, and then there was some news about it again on Friday. So I don't know what's going on there, but 11.8. Interesting. AGIX Singularity Net is up to $1 even, 8.4% on the day. We have Render up 7.5% on the day to $9.99. Look at that. Oh yeah, perfect. That's awesome. I got some at like $7. Excited. Got back into that. Good morning, Cool Rip. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. 72 is fear. Oh, you're talking about the Fear and Greed Index. All right, we're gonna do it right now. Flashbang. Let's see. 71. Damn, you were pretty close. 71 on the Fear and Greed Index. All right, listen. 75 is when we start getting worried. Start wondering where things are gonna go. I liked it last week. Last week was, why did it say yesterday and last week is 67? It was like in the 50s, wasn't it? If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure at least one day it was in the 50s, but whatever. Right now, I mean, this realistically, anything between 75 and like, I don't know, 50 is like neutral realistically, but this is I mean, we needed a reset. We had one last week. Let's see where things go, I guess, this week. That's all we can really do, right? All right, trending coins. Krill, is that how you say that? I think, maybe 4.2% on the day. Never even heard of that. Maniki, I butchered the shit. I butchered that so bad. It's down 7.1%. And Friend.tech is up 12%, 2.8 or $2.80 rather. I don't know what any of these coins are. Any of those trending coins, I have absolutely no idea. All right, top 10 coins by coin market cap over on CoinGecko. We have Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, BNB, Solana, USDC, XRP, Lido Staked Ether, Dogecoin, and Toncoin still in 10th place. Toncoin is killing it, absolutely killing it. Let's see, you have some of that Crypto KJ, this Mankey one. What is it? This one? Man, is that Mankey? Is that how you say that? I don't even know. Mankey, never heard of it. I don't even know what it is. All right, let's see. Cardano still in 11th place at a $16 billion market cap. We have Avalanche right below that. Shiba, pretty cool. All right, let's see. We have Litecoin in 22nd place. Just kind of want to scroll through this a little bit. Ethereum Classics in 28th, looking like a $27.81. Not too bad. I still think this is going to be a sleeping giant, to be honest. And you know what? I didn't know there was so much behind Ethereum Classic that there really is, being I guess not being as in the space as long as a lot of you guys, right? I guess there was some real BS behind the whole transition from Ethereum to Ethereum Classic. So we're gonna, I don't know, I'm gonna try to make a video, put a video together on that, so you guys kind of understand the, like, what the hell happened. It's kind of interesting. I was reading a little bit about it this weekend. We have the all-time high was at 167 bucks, right here, 83.4% down on the, well, about 3 years ago, right? This is, yeah, this, I don't know, this is just gonna be a sleeping giant for me. I think the bull run's gonna really make this coin pop. I mean, especially the ETF catalyst. Once people see Ethereum go nuts, I think Ethereum Classic's gonna follow right behind it. Again, 2017, 2018, then we had the 2021 pop off, right? That's when we got to 160 bucks. It might not go this high. It might be under it, but regardless, I mean, I still think we're gonna get at least a 2 or a 3x easy out of this coin. That's just my opinion, and I think this is gonna actually carry a lot of us miners through the next run. What do you guys think? ETC for the win. Yeah, fully electric. It was kind of interesting when you mentioned that to me, man. I was like, man, I didn't know any of that. It's kind of neat. It's kind of neat. I guess the Ethereum network actually just wiped out a bunch of bullshit instead of making people lose their money. It was kind of, dude, it's so weird. I'll get into it later, but it's strange. Anyways, this BitTensor, said that for max voltage. BitTensor, 470 bucks or 464 bucks now. I want to know what you guys think about this. There was a video we watched with that Siam kid. Is that how you say his name? I think he made a really good video about Caspa and BitTensor, and most of his money's into this, and it's kind of interesting. It's an interesting coin. I want to know what you guys think about it. Does anybody have this? Let me know. Oh, veteran miner, thank you, because I totally forgot. Shout out to the veteran miner. I don't even remember your site. Is it gpucables.com? Is that what it is? It is. Look at this. If you guys are interested, veteran miner just launched his new site. Not trying to shill it, but trying to shill it at the same time. What the hell is this? Get out of here with that subscribe stuff. No, I'm just kidding. I just wanted to give him a shout out because this new site looks sick. It looks amazing. If you guys are looking for like KS0 cables or anything, this is awesome. Really awesome, dude. Good stuff. I saw a bunch of the new cables. Man, it was like carbon fiber. What was it? There was one like a snake skin, and then there was like a carbon fiber or something. There was like a bunch of mixed ones. But man, these cable sleeves you got are sick. Absolutely sick. Cool as hell, dude. Good stuff. If you guys are interested, go check it out. CCXD, get you 10% off cables. All right, let's move on to the mining segment of things. See what we're looking like over here. You guys know I like to timestamp this stuff. We got the Antminer KS5 Pro 21 terahash unit. Veteran miner, throw your link in the chat if you'd like. Actually, you know what? I'll just do it for you. Here we go. I'll put this in the live chat. Thank you, Patrick. Appreciate you. All right, KS5 Pro. We got 21 terahash unit mining Caspa, 10 cents kilowatt hour. You're making $84.84 a day. The KS5 20 terahash unit is making $80.80 a day. The AL box. This is the lithium box miner, 360 gigahashes, 180 watts. Looking like you're making 22 lithium a day, 49.25. Dude, you know what? I'm shocked. I'm shocked that this is still in the top 3. I am. Perfect. I honestly am. Let's see. Where's the lithium at today? I've been out of the game for like 3 days, guys. I took off Saturday. I'm all discombobulated. All right, we got $2.24 to lithium. Last 7 days, how we looking? All right, so we had a little bit of a rise. I mean, it's not much, right? But from $2 to $2.25, that's pretty good. Almost 2.5. Hell yeah. That's awesome. That's good. You know what? I'm really happy. I'm happy to see that because it's nice to see, like, obviously I love Casper, right? But it's nice to see another coin that's being competitive in the mining section, right? So that's pretty cool when it comes to ASICs anyways. We have the KS5L 12 terahash unit making $44.64 a day. The BMKS Max make 11 terahash unit making $38 a day. The Windminer K9 10.3 terahash unit making $37.40 a day. This one's lost a lot of steam. I still haven't seen anybody that have either of these units. Does anybody have either of these units? Does anybody know? GMC, what's up, dude? Good to see you, man. Thanks for being here, dude. Let's see. We get the Ice River KS3 8 terahash unit making $27.52. Man, that's crazy how bad these are getting. They're getting real low. They're getting real low. We get the Jasminer X16P 5.8 gigahash unit making $24.09 a day. ETH-W and ZIL. Oh, by the way, Steven Cicero, saw you in the chat. I put my unit to unmineable, mining ETH-W, ETH hash, right? Because they mine, I guess, Ethereum proof of work over there, and they will convert it to Caspa like I was doing. I was just doing ETC before, and I guess it's more profitable to mine ETH-W. So shout out to you for that. Thank you. Crypto Mikkel, what's up, dude? We were talking about the trashy K9. Remember? Yeah, it's pretty shitty. The only one you saw, I think, was like broken. I haven't seen anybody with a working one. Sell me your X16Q. I can't. It's the only thing that's profitable. Intramasad, or I would. We got the KS3M 6 terahash unit, only making $18.24 a day. Damn. Hey, but you know what? I mean, I'm sure people made their money back on that one already. All right, let's see. Where's the L9? Wasn't the L9 in here? Wasn't the L9 on the list last week? Or was that over here on mine, the ASIC? I swear it was on the list. Oh, it is. It's right here. Ah, it's right here. Okay, so it's on mine, the ASIC. The L9's making 30 bucks a day. Look at that, $30.63 a day. Or that's what it's projected to make, rather. We get the Antminer L7 9050. This is what I got down at Terra Hosting. Shout out to them. Paying 10 cents kilowatt hour instead of 30 like it would be up here. Making $14.97 a day. Hell yeah, dude. That's sick.
Perfect.
That's awesome. I love to see it. Making over 10 bucks. That's for a 3-year-old plus unit. That's crazy. That's crazy to make that much money after electric. Let's see the KS2. Oh, the KS2 looks so bad. $5.92 a day. That's terrible. Let's scroll down a little bit. Let's just see. Gold Shell KA box. You know what? Shout out to Crypto Miner Bros. I think I might be getting one of these units. Hopefully. I just was talking with them this morning. KA box. If I can get this thing in the solar trailer, I think this is going to be pretty ballsy. $4.23 a day after 10 cents kilowatt hour. What do you guys think about this? Is this worth it? Let me know in the chat. What do you guys think? $5 on the KS2 is way better than Bitcoin mining. Yeah, you know what? DJ Mines, you're not wrong. You are not wrong, sir. You know what? I was going to get to that in a minute. We got the Ice Server KS1. 1 terahash unit, 600 watts, making $2.97
Bruh.
a day. That's terrible. That's terrible. Oh man. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. All right, let's see the X4Q. We're making $2 a day mining Octaspace. Oh snap. Octaspace. How's Octaspace doing? I got some of that. Got me a bag of that. I solo mined for it for a while. Oh my god. What is happening? Let's go 7-day. Look at this. Yes. That's amazing. Ooh, I found some good news about the Tangem as well. Or found out some good news about the Tangem wallet, by the way. Unfortunately, I can't swap this in Tangem yet. It's because the site they use, like, I think it's, is it Change Now? Or Changely or something like that. Whatever the swapping service is they have integrated with their wallet doesn't swap Octaspace. I don't think any swapping service does, to be honest, but that's crazy. I'm gonna have to find out a place where I could swap this. That's really good, actually. What's the all-time high? Damn, it's real close. It's only 4% down. It's $1.94. Wow. You know what? Maybe I'm gonna mine Octaspace today on my X16Q. That might be a good idea. All right, let's move down. Let's see. Where's my S9? Where's my S19K? Where is it? Oh, DJ, I had to ruin my day. Where is it? Oh god.
Bruh.
Dude, the S19K 120 terahash unit is making negative 50 cents a day. I am losing 50 cents a day at 10 cents per kilowatt hour. Yeah, let's see where it's at 9. Let's that's crazy. Wow. And that's like a man. All right, let's see. 9 cents. Wait, look at how crazy that jump is. Look at how crazy that is. You have a 9 cent per kilowatt hour electric rate. You're making 16 cents. But if you go up to 10 cents, you're losing 50 cents. That's crazy. 8 cents, you're making 83 cents. 7 cents, you're making $1.49. 6 cents, you're making $2.15. 5 cents, $2.81. 4 cents, $3.48. Most places have like 2 to 4 cents, like the big places, right? So they're still profitable. They ain't shutting off. If you were having free electric, you'd be making $6 a day, 613. But yeah, about like between 480 and like 350 is what they're making per day. All these big guys. So let me set this back up before I screw it up for tomorrow. All right, let's move on to GPUs. See what we're looking like over here. GPUs, what's the most profitable coin today? We got Ironfish and Pyron, top of the charts. I mean, Ironfish has really been killing it lately. What's Ironfish looking like price wise? Again, I've been out of the game for a couple days, so I apologize. I'm trying to catch up. $1.66, getting 1.9% up on the day. All-time high. Nah, it's down 90%. It's down more than that. It says 17 bucks, but we all know this shit came out. This thing was like it was like 150 bucks when it first came out. It was crazy. I don't know. I heard it wasn't their fault though. I guess. I don't know. I don't even know how that works. Anyways, yeah, so Ironfish, who knows? I don't know if you guys are mining it, but hey, listen, if it can carry us, why the hell not? Take it and run. Let's see, Pyron. Let's check out Pyron actually. How's Pyron doing? I'm still mining that. And does it drive anybody else nuts how Panda says Pyron? This is Pyron. You can't say solder either. It says solder. It pronounces the L. Big oof. looking at 5 cents for Pyron. Wow. Look at that. Look at that, actually. Kind of excited. That's good. That's really good. Its all-time high was 28 cents. Jeez.
Bruh.
That's crazy. That's crazy. This is doing well though. That's awesome. I'm glad it's holding up. You know what? This is like a really cool, like it's like a fork of Casper, right? But it's surviving, which is very interesting, right? Let's see. We have Cortex up here for the 4080. We have Xano for the 7900 XT. Yeah, the XT and BTG. Not too bad. Conflux and Pyron. Nice. Dual mining that. That's cool. The 3080 Ti. Chlor on the 6800 XT. And Ironfish and Graham. Look at that. Conflux and Pyron. We have Nexa, Chlor for the 3090 Ti. You guys got a decent amount of coins to choose from. The Radeon 7 mining Chlor. Interesting. 3070 Ti laptop. Please don't mine on laptops, people. But if you want to, Xano and Chlor. Gonna melt that thing for sure. Is this Eternity? Is that how you're supposed to say that? The 3070 for that one. Conflux and Pyron. Nice. All right, so that seems to be the consensus across the board. Pretty much Canadians. TJ Mines. Yeah, it's pretty bad. That's because of Panda beat Canadian. Yeah. Yep. That is why. All right, let's see. New coins. We got any new ones? Nope. Still AI D-Pin. The two buzzwords, top of the charts. 10 days ago. Estimated age. And then It's a Meme is there. That's a SHA-256 one. This AI D-Pin's a Kapow algorithm in the... I don't know how this Peppa Pow one isn't gonna get sued. It's crazy how they just took like Peppa Pig's logo and just like threw it on some shit. All right, let's see. On the events calendar, we got Kevacoin. 6 days, going from 500 to 250 per block. We have a Pyron going through a 5th inning in a couple days, or 15 days rather, almost 2 weeks away. Reduced from 17 to 14. I wonder how that's going to hurt profitability on mining. We're gonna have to see. Then we have Ethereum Classic, 24 days. I'm excited for this. I hope this pushes the price of Ethereum Classic up, to be honest.
Perfect.
$2.56 per block to 2, almost even 2.048 per block. So we're gonna have to see what happens there. You guys see 14 days ago Octaspace went through their halving, and we're getting price appreciation now, which is pretty cool. So hopefully same thing, you know, Ethereum Classic follows suit, hopefully. Let's see. Let's go a month. Yeah, you can see, look, price appreciation about 2 weeks ago, pops right up, or about a week ago rather. Right, so it went down initially and now it's starting to rise. So that's pretty much what happens, or what we like to see happen anyways, once things go through halvings and stuff. So that's cool. Again, if you guys are interested in Tangem, TCXD 10% off. But I got to make a video about this. I found out something that's pretty interesting to me, and I don't understand how it's even possible. But anyways, we'll get into that later. All right, I'm gonna move on to Crypto Zombie. We're gonna skip the news today because he kind of covers a lot of the news. I think I haven't really watched this video yet. I saw the beginning, but again, I wanted to watch it with you guys. So let's get into it. Shout out to Crypto Zombie. If you guys aren't subbed to him, please go check him out. And by the way, the pool in the background is actually his. If you didn't know, I found out last week. All right, let's do it, guys. That like button, appreciate you.
Some of the language that some of the language and concepts are just confusing. I mean, the government definitely prints money, and it definitely lends that money, which is why the government definitely prints money, and then it lends that money by selling bonds. Is that what they do?
This guy has like a Joe Biden moment. Like, what happened here?
They
just forgot what happened.
They
Train came
sell
derailed.
bonds. Yeah, they sell bonds, right? Since they sell bonds and people buy the bonds and lend them the money. Yeah. So there is no question that the government prints money, and then it uses that money to yeah, I guess I can't really talk. I don't get it. I don't know what they're talking about. Like, because it's like
What is
the
happening?
government clearly prints money. It does it all the time, and it clearly borrows. Otherwise, we wouldn't be having this debt and deficit conversation. So I don't think there's anything confusing there.
What's going on, guys? K-Dub here with another.
That was messed up. That was messed up. I didn't see that. Oh my god, that caught me off guard.
Another episode of Crypto Zombie. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great day today. Now, we need to make a Bitcoin update because Bitcoin perfectly bounced off of the 21 exponential, and you could see this candle right here had a lot of buying to the upside. If we come over and have a look here, we did get a nice bounce off of this previous resistance that we had of this upward sloping trend, and it did act as a bit of a bear trap. Now, we are back into this sort of sideways trading zone, but at the same time, we are still putting in lower lows. So we really need to talk about what is going on with Bitcoin, because what's interesting is, again, as we had been anticipating this dip, we still maintained overall bullish structure. In fact, just talking about what the Bitcoin whales have done, if I told you the amount of Bitcoin that they have been buying over this past week, you would not believe me. But if you just look at the chart, I think you can see that they are buying exponentially right here, right? So what I want—
It's the best time to buy when people are getting out of the market. Why? Like, when the price is falling, that's when you're supposed to buy. It's how you're gonna win.
What I talk about today is the fact that Bitcoin is about to enter what we could kind of refer to as, well, I guess you could say the hot phase, okay? And a lot of people are not really ready for what comes next for Bitcoin. So we're also about to do something right now with Bitcoin that we've only really seen happen 2 times so far in this cycle. And well, I'm gonna kind of save that for the end of the video, but it seems like every time Bitcoin does this, it gets even more and more aggressive with each move. So there's a lot of people that are thinking that maybe the market was over, or again, the bears were coming out calling for $30,000 Bitcoin, etc. But I think by the end of this video, you're going to have a very different perspective. I have some hilarious clips I have to play for you from some economists. And when you realize what these people are doing, or at least their lack of understanding of what they're doing, it literally makes the Bitcoin narrative even that much stronger. And if you're not bullish, or if you're semi-bullish, by the end of this video, if you're not totally bullish on Bitcoin, well then I don't know what to tell you. So we're going to talk about all this today. If that sounds good to you, you know what to do. If you are not subscribed, definitely consider it, guys. And don't forget, over on Levex, they are still doing 10% cash back on all trades, and they will match a...
I'm gonna skip that. Sorry, I didn't realize that was happening. Real quick, in the chat, Dan R said the SEC files lawsuit against Robinhood's crypto business, issuing a Wells notice to the company. That's crazy. So if you guys have any crypto on there, get a tangent and put it on there, or put it somewhere. Don't hold it on freaking Robinhood. Who knows?
Let's start with something that just happened for the first time.
And listen, there's nothing wrong with Robinhood. It's the SEC giving them bullshit. That sucks, right? It's really the fact that Robinhood lets you send your crypto now, that's pretty cool. They never used to, which was why I was against it, but now it's like, it's fine. So who knows? Just make sure you guys are being safe and custodying your crypto, please.
Grayscale Bitcoin ETF has been on a non-stop weekly outflow ever since it launched. And as of May 3rd, we finally saw, for the first time ever, a GBTC positive inflow.
Wow.
Now, could this just be a fluke? I mean, it just happened for the first time. Who knows? But this could be signs that the tide is ready to turn, right? And I believe that there is a lot of whale manipulation trying to catch people off sides, trying to get them to doubt their positions, to sell their Bitcoins, maybe hop into some of these meme coins, which is fine. Meme coins have been doing pretty well. I'm not against them. But I really think at the end of the day, the fundamentals for Bitcoin are getting incredibly stronger as the days go by. And like Vivek for real pointed out,
let's at the hot phase real quick. Zarkov, not trying to call you out specifically, I promise. But you said move it to Trade Ogre. Please do not hold stuff on Trade Ogre. And it's again, like it's not a bad place to put money there to sell it, but please don't leave stuff on there. Like just please. Thank you.
Let's just see what's going on. So these are the hot phases that he talks about, right? Except in all these previous hot phases, sort of like, leading into and after the halving, we've only ever had retail, except this time we have public companies like Block, 43 billion, MicroStrategy, 20 billion. We have all these different ETFs like BlackRock, Fidelity, private companies like Tether, 50 billion, nation states like El Salvador. They're all buying millions to billions worth of Bitcoin every month. Are you paying attention? Oh, and the whale that's been buying, by the way, the Mr. 100 or whatever they call him, he just bought more this week as well. So obviously there is some serious accumulation, but everyone's panicking and they're not realizing what's actually happening in the background. So I wanted to start with this. This is an amazing video by Texas A&M professor Karak Ray. Now, he basically just broke down Bitcoin price into the simplest possible reason ever. Forget all the technology, forget this, censorship resistance and all that. If you just want to look at Bitcoin from simply a financial perspective as just an instrument, even if it's an instrument of speculation. Listen to this clip, and he breaks it down in such a way that you would have to be an absolute fool. It would be irresponsible to not be allocating to Bitcoin and to not be realizing how much these dips are truly for buying.
Real quick, Nafi said there is a Bitcoin whale who's been buying a minimum of 100 Bitcoin a day for months. Really? Why is this the first time I'm hearing about that? That's crazy. Sometimes 3 to 4K in a few days. Oh my God. You imagine having that kind of money?
One of the geniuses of Bitcoin's design is that it really is digital scarcity for the first time. And so what I tried to do is I looked at the returns from holding Bitcoin at, say, a 5-year horizon. And I asked, well, what would be that return if you bought it at the highest possible price and sold it at the lowest possible price? And so that would be your lower bound of your payoff. That would be the worst you could do. And I looked at that for all possible horizons. And this is what it looks like. Okay? So what do we see? We see after about 3.25, 3.3 years, you will not lose money. After about 3.45 years, you will beat the market. After 3.5 years, you will beat Warren Buffett. And then beyond that, everything else is icing on the cake. Now, the past does not predict the future, right? And obviously, we don't know the future. But I'm an empirical economist. I'm a social scientist. We have to look at the facts. And so, to me, this is the top 1,000 reasons to hold Bitcoin. If you forget everything else I say, at least remember this picture. And so, this is, I think, the first time in the history of humankind where we see this kind of the value of scarcity illustrated in such a novel way.
And no one is really quite understanding this supply.
Really quick, sorry. Crypto KJ, thank you for this. So Mr. 100 buys the Bitcoin dip for the first time since the halving. Is the BTC bottom in? Mr. 100, an entity previously identified as Upbit, has bought over 147 million worth of Bitcoin for the first time since the halving, suggesting an end to the current retracement. Damn, that's crazy. Thank you for that article. What is up, Mike?
Just yet,
YouTube?
because they want it to happen quick, right? The halving happens. Where's the 100K Bitcoin? It takes time. The same way that what the Fed does when they raise or rates or they cut them, whatever, that affects. But it takes 3, 6, sometimes 8 months to see that. The same thing is happening with the halving. But look at this inverse relationship. As the exchange reserves continue to dwindle, this blue line right here, we are seeing price go in the other direction, right? And don't forget that we have, well, recently the ETF inflows obviously have been a little bit lower, but they're still outpacing the production that is available. So if this does dry up, theoretically, okay, it probably never will dry up. Someone will always be selling at some price. But realistically, this is where you're going to get that supply shock. And even Clem Chambers, who, you got to give it to him, he has a pretty good track record of being correct, is extremely bullish on Bitcoin specifically, also when asked what asset class would he be focused on the most.
It's repriced there. And basically the call is that it? Or is there more to come? Now, I personally think we've got another leg up. And again, you know, with my magic voodoo charting, I can see easily 100,000, probably 120. Anything more than that, I think, is a stretch. But if it does do that, the top will be completely unpredictable, and it will probably only be there for an hour. You know, it'll go up $20,000 in an hour and come back down again, and you will never see it. So
I agree with that, actually, 1,000%.
That final peak that you'll look at the chart and say, oh, it went to 100,000. Will be something so transitory that only the traders will actually get to trade that. But definitely, if it breaks out from here, it will go.
And keep in mind too, if that happens, like Coinbase and all these ETF, well, Coinbase might, I don't know, they might freeze things again, or say like maintenance, or it's overloaded, or not let you trade. But like BlackRock, the ETFs and stuff, like you're not gonna be able to get out of that shit. Zero chance. Just saying.
100,000 and maybe a bit more. I mean, I think that. I think it's got another leg. I don't think we've seen the end. I think the halving, which has always driven the price, is something that people find hard to trade for, because there's just this sort of drying up of supply, and that drying up of supply has a very sort of slow burn effect that suddenly at some point creates a big repricing. So I think we will see a big repricing sometime in the next 8 to 12 weeks.
So sum up, Clem, what are you most bullish on this year? The asset that you think will grow the most?
Well, I think that if Bitcoin or crypto takes a run, then that will be a big run. So in a way, it's not about guessing the direction. It's about guessing how far that direction will go if it turns. Right. So it's like, oh, well, gold will go up to tomorrow $10. That's not so interesting. Gold will go up over the next 6 months 310%. That's more interesting. So, and Bitcoin is a long way to run if it breaks out. So that's quite interesting. So I'm positioned for that.
This is the best part. So this is so hilarious. The people who are in charge, these economists, right? These people who are supposed to understand what is going on, it seems like we, the people, have a better understanding of how terrible the system is over them. Just take this video clip. You gotta laugh when you see this. So this is Jared Bernstein, the chair of the Council of Economics Advisory of President Joe Biden. And
well, that makes total sense now.
he can't even explain how it works.
Wondering who the hell he was.
They print the dollar, so why does the government even borrow?
Well,
he's using the same teleprompter. That's what it is. There's a glitch in it. They can't. It just freezes and then they get thrown off.
I mean, again, some of this stuff gets, some of the language that some of the language and concepts are just confusing. I mean, the government definitely prints money, and it definitely lends that money, which is why the government definitely prints money, and then it lends that money by selling bonds. Is that what they do? Yeah. This is terrible. They sell bonds. Yeah, they sell bonds, right? Because they sell bonds and people buy the bonds and lend them the money. Yeah. So a lot of times, at least to my ear with MMT, the language and the concepts can be kind of unnecessarily confusing, but there is no question that the government prints money, and then it uses that money to.
This is terrible. What is happening? I'm gonna be honest though, like, I know it's funny, but like at the same time, it's like someone needs to check this dude, make sure he's not like going through a freaking stroke, like, because that's sometimes like that's scary.
I guess I can't really talk. I don't get it. I don't know what they're talking
about. That's very scary, actually, to be honest. Like, I'm not even making a joke about that, for real.
The government clearly prints money. It does it all the time, and it clearly borrows. Otherwise, we wouldn't be having this debt and deficit conversation. So I don't think there's anything confusing there.
And just to put it, I can't
crazy.
even really be serious with that clip. And just to put it into perspective, like Tom Crown had pointed out, right? If you look at the amount of Bitcoins available, roughly 19.6 million, right? Keep in mind, a lot of those are lost forever, right? Because people threw their hard drives out. And Satoshi also has a very large bag, which is probably never going to move because, well, a lot of people assume Satoshi may be deceased at this point. Who knows? But anyway, you got over 8 billion people on planet Earth. Now, if you divide that into the world population, you're talking about 0.002448888 per person on the planet. So just check out these numbers. So given that Bitcoin is currently around 63 to 64K, there's only enough Bitcoin for every person to have about $155 worth. So if Bitcoins were distributed using the current global distribution of wealth, 99.9% of people would have about $30 worth of Bitcoin, and people in the top 0.001% would have about 0.73 Bitcoin each. So
Wow, that's crazy, actually.
do you understand that if you believe in hyper Bitcoinization and you believe, or not even, you don't have to believe, if you just understand the way supply and demand works, and also the fact that we have a failing fiat system, I think we can all agree on it. I mean, they literally can't even explain how it works, and they're supposed to be the guys in charge. You know, if you can just get to 1 Bitcoin and you understand these numbers, you know, these numbers that people are calling for $1 million Bitcoin, $5 million Bitcoin, it sounds crazy, but it's actually not as crazy as it sounds. I mean, I got to play this one more clip. I know I'm dragging on this, but this ECB banker cannot even explain how money is created. By the way, he thought the camera was off.
How you create money is very simple. We create money electronically, if I can say. We credit accounts of, well, that people will not understand again. It's an image, you know, so, I mean, this is off now. I could say I print banknotes, but it's an image, you know, it's not the way we do because it goes via the banking system.
But couldn't you
yeah, how would you say that? Because
we lend
nah, but lend, no, it's not, well, no, we create money. It's not lending money, we creet money.
Give me a second. Yeah. We lend to commercial banks, and the moment of this lending creates the money.
The hell's happening? He's coaching him through this freaking what? Is he being coached right now?
No, I know, but
on how it works?
No, I see what you mean. But it's not even true what you say. When you let me give the we are not.
Oh my God!
That's the classical way.
Wow, that's crazy.
What you say, but normally
what is happening? It's in this world.
I would just think about the situation. I print banknotes. I just in my office I print banknotes, and with these banknotes I will buy you something, and I give you this banknote, and you give me a bond that you have bought before. You have a Schatz, you know, you have a treasury bill, you know, in your investment, or and then you sell it to me, and I give you cash which I have produced. But we do that electronically.
So where do you really want to put your money? Obviously, you know, this real estate, sure, that's a go-to. You know, I own real estate. I do believe that, you know, they're not going to make any more land, and it's definitely going to be a lot harder for, you know, people to buy houses. So, you know, I do believe in a rental market, right? So that is something that I am focused on. But really outside of that, Bitcoin is the next best thing, or actually, I should probably reverse that and say Bitcoin is the best thing. But A, it doesn't have as much track record, right? It's only got about 15 years under it. Okay. So let's talk about Bitcoin. I wanted to show you what's going on right now and how this is something that, you know, Bitcoin's really only done twice this cycle, and it keeps getting more aggressive each time it does it. Now, if you just want to kind of look at, you know, people trying to call these cycle tops, well, every single time Bitcoin kind of hits, with the exception of back here, you know, these are really early days, 2012, 2013, you know, once you get around the realized cap over the tradable supply, you can see this red line right here. That's usually where we...
There it is. Mr. Charles Harris, thank you for the $10 super chat. You're awesome. He said, here's another coffee. Have a safe drive into work. Perfect. Appreciate you, buddy. Thankfully, I don't have to drive, though.
Start to get a little bit overheated. You know, you can see right here, you know, it's not a perfect top, but usually around this area is where, you know, you're starting to get concerned. We're obviously not even close to touching it yet, right? Now, if we just have a simple look, very easy to draw these lines, right? We had this.
All right, listen, I'm going to skip this Bitcoin analysis. If you guys want to watch it, go check out his channel. Crypto Zombie's an awesome trader, but we're going to jump over to this History speaks volumes. I want to see what this has said.
Because they are going to keep printing money, and that is just how it works. And the more money they print, the more it devalues your savings.
Oh, I think I saw this part.
The more it creates inflation inherently, which is the hidden tax. And of course, as we saw in the beginning, even if you held, or if you had bought Bitcoin at the all-time high and then sold at the next low, within 5 years, you would still have at least a 3x return. You would outpace literally every other possible investment that there is. And, you know, you might have seen this, the great Bitcoin debate that was over by Zero Hedge. They had Nouriel Roubini, Peter Schiff, Scaramucci, and Voorhees were over there as well. But I love the way that he ended it, because you could just tell. And this is kind of how I feel, guys. I feel like I'm getting tired. You know, I've been talking about Bitcoin for 8 years now, and it is getting tiresome. It really is. I mean, what else is there to say? How much more evidence do you need? And I think you could just sense the almost like, we're just tired. We're not going to have this conversation anymore. Here's a good.
So these are the gold guys, right? This is Peter Schiff, and I don't know who this guy is. But then there's other people on the other side, Anthony Scaramucci, and I don't know who this guy is. But he puts the gold thing down in this clip, I believe.
Good idea. Why don't we just let the asset speak for itself?
30 seconds of his time
Got
to
it.
you.
Okay.
And we want to hear it, sir.
Okay. First of all, a world in which gold was the money again would be a superior world to the status quo. I'll grant that. My primary concern is that the world has money that is derived out of market processes rather than out of coercive centralization of the state. The latter is extremely an un-American and dangerous plague that has existed now since at least 1971, when the dollar became a fiat currency. Anything that moves the world away from centralized control of money to market-based control of money is something that I would be in favor of. Peter, I will praise you if you can get the world to accept gold again as a form of normal money. That would be great. There are some other of us who don't wish to wait around for that, and we actually think a decentralized form of money that you can send in a digital world has value. And back in 2011, 2012, 2013, when we had our first debate, I understand that like the burden of proof was on us. We had to argue that it was a currency or that it was a money. We had to make those statements because there's no reason for anyone to believe us back then.
Facts.
But it's 2024, and this is a $1.2 trillion asset, one of the most liquid assets in the world, one of the top 10 assets in the entire world by market cap. I don't need to keep making the case that Bitcoin is something. The world believes it's something. You can see why if you ever go try to send a transaction internationally with a bank and you do it with Bitcoin on your phone, anyone who's done those two things will see the value immediately.
Facts.
Immediately. And I don't have to like defend it much, right? It's just growing and it's an option. There's no Bitcoiner that would force either of you to ever use it. And if you want to stay in the traditional financial system, go down with the Titanic, go for it.
Go down
Many
with
of
the
us are
Titanic.
choosing an alternative.
I'm on the Voorhees life raft, just so you know.
Well, I'm not going down with the ship.
So I don't know if you guys can kind of relate with
That's
that. That's
insane.
almost like when you see the videos of Sailor and he's always just like,
That audio was awful. Yeah, that was on their end.
you know, he's just like, just totally out of breath explaining it. And it is tiresome, but I feel like I have to keep making these videos because there's always going to be those people that, you know, think it's the end or think it's a flash in the pan or think it's just a bubble. Guys, they've been calling Bitcoin a bubble for almost a decade, and yet it continues
Facts.
to surprise over and over again. And just referring back to this power law model, you could see that Bitcoin has always maintained in this curve. Now, yes, maybe you could say diminishing returns could be, this is logarithmic, but ultimately we are not even close. We're just at the level, and no cycle has ever ended ever by touching just the level. And all these cycles have massive
Very true.
accumulation ranges underneath it, and then once they break out, they tend to run. The only real exception, again, is the exception that we always use, and that was the COVID crisis, but that was a black swan. So, you know, we could get a black swan this year. Something could happen right before the elections. Who knows? And then, of course, maybe the charts change. But if everything was to just stay the same and nothing changed, then this would tell us that we have a lot more to go for Bitcoin. So ultimately, that's it, guys. Do friendly reminder if you do want to check out Meta Signals.
We're gonna skip that. Shout out to Crypto Zombie for that video, though. All right, let's move on. You know what? I want to see what Altcoin Daily has to say, and then we can jump into Lark Davis's video quick. All right, Kathy Wood. All hell is gonna break loose. Bitcoin to $1 million. You guys think it's possible? Let me know in the chat or in the comments below. Let's do
We're
it.
in a very interesting environment, and it's caused by monetary instability around the world. We see what happened because of COVID. We have to get this thing under control. And if by the end of the year we stabilize around 0% year over year growth, this line will drop toward 2 to 3%, which, as you can see, we've only seen once. It was in the 90s. And, after that, all hell broke loose around the world.
In an unbelievable turn of events for Bitcoin, Bitcoin's biggest seller just flipped to a buyer.
Is it me or does his voice sound weird?
Grayscale's Bitcoin ETF, GBTC, sees positive inflows for the first time in like 80-ish days. See for yourself. Look at this. This is when the ETFs launched. This is almost 80 days later, flipping bullish.
We're in a very interesting environment, and it's caused by monetary instability around the world. Of course, in emerging markets, anyone with a connection to the internet now pretty much can establish or buy an insurance policy in the form of Bitcoin.
So understand that Bitcoin almost doubled in one quarter, going from about $40,000 to just over $70,000 because of the ETF buy pressure we saw happen. Net Bitcoin ETF flows have been largely positive. We know that Grayscale, the one in blue here, has only been selling. Bitcoin rallied from $40,000 to $70,000 despite the immense selling we saw from Grayscale. Every other ETF has seen net inflows. Grayscale has just been seeing outflows. That is until today. After a prolonged period of continuous outflows, Grayscale's Bitcoin Trust Exchange Traded Fund, ETF, recorded its first day of net positive inflows. According to preliminary data from Farsight, on May 3rd, Grayscale's Bitcoin Trust, GBTC, witnessed $63 million in net inflows. This positive momentum comes after an approximately $17.5 billion in outflows since the launch of the 11 spot Bitcoin ETFs on January 11th. So Bitcoin went from under $40,000 to over $70,000 because of net positive inflows. This is the data, in spite of Grayscale selling billions and billions of Bitcoin until today. So what happens when we see every ETF start to increase its Bitcoin holdings? I'll tell you, we're going to see net inflows rapidly increasing a lot harder than this. Bitcoin's biggest seller just turned into a buyer. So while it is definitely still possible, Bitcoin falls to a lower low sometime in the next month, Bitcoin could hit 52,000, 53,000, 54,000, somewhere in this range. That is definitely still possible. The more time that passes, the more likely Bitcoin eventually breaks up. I think once Bitcoin clears $70,000, once it's clear that Bitcoin is above $70,000 and pushing up against all-time highs, maybe even a little bit above all-time highs, we're going to see a renewed interest in Bitcoin ETF inflows. We're going to see the total number of Bitcoin that these ETFs hold really start to increase. And then probably again, once Bitcoin breaks $100,000, once that happens, all bets are off. All hell is going to break loose, particularly because Bitcoin and crypto, it's not just confined to America. These are global assets. There's kids in Bangladesh buying coins, and of ETFs specifically, I mean, they're launching Bitcoin and Ethereum spot Bitcoin ETFs all over the world. Hong Kong most recently, but plenty of others. And while their markets are not as large as America, 1 billion here, another billion there, another couple billion here and there, this is significant for price. But like I said, guys, we could see Bitcoin fall to 55K, 54K, 52K. But given enough time, I think it breaks up in a big way. Guys, don't be like Greg. Volatility equals opportunity.
Oh my God, I wish I had kept my 1,700 Bitcoin at 6 cents instead of selling them at 30 cents. Now they're $8. Oh no.
Look at this tweet. Look at when it was written. I wish I kept my 1,700 Bitcoin. I bought at 6 cents instead of selling them at 30 cents now that they're $8. And obviously that was...
You know what? I feel like that's how people are going to feel about Caspa, just saying.
It's only the beginning. Kathy Wood is predicting Bitcoin hits $1 million over the next 5 years, Now that we are post Bitcoin halving, Kathy and ARK Invest give their updated Bitcoin investment thesis. This is the most updated Bitcoin investment thesis out there right now. It is incredibly beneficial to you as a Bitcoin holder that you watch this, that you listen to her thesis. Smash the like button, subscribe to Altcoin Daily for daily crypto updates. Bitcoin gets to 1 million because of this. Listen to Kathy Wood and ARK Invest. This is their updated Bitcoin thesis.
From a price action standpoint, the Bitcoin halving tends to coincide with bull markets. So Bitcoin's now trading at roughly $60,000, and it's gone through a pretty nice reset after making all-time highs in March. And so we like to look at just healthy resets, healthy liquidations on the longs, especially during a bull market. And we've seen a 22% drawdown from the all-time highs, which tends to coincide with what we've seen in previous bull markets as kind of local corrections. Regarding Bitcoin's predictable monetary policy, it really is one of the primary reasons why we have such high conviction in Bitcoin and why we have had it over the years. And we've really taken a monetary lens on assessing the potential for Bitcoin versus that software technological lens. And that really comes down to Bitcoin's monetary policy. So Kathy, I've learned a lot from you just on monetary history, monetary economics. Maybe you can sort of put that monetary hat on and really highlight the sharp contrast with Bitcoin's policy versus, central bank policymakers that, can adjust the supply growth idiosyncratically at will.
Absolutely. This halving chart is, you can see the discipline here. It's been mathematically metered, and actually we did a Bitcoin brainstorm with miners. This monetary policy basically was written in 5 lines of code. I did not know that until we did that Bitcoin brainstorm. It is so elegant, so simple, so straightforward. In contrast, take a look at this. This is M2 growth, and it's a 4-year annualized percent change. So from this past March to March 4 years ago, what is the monetary growth rate at an annual rate? That would be the last data point here, which is black dashed line. So that rate is about 8%. And actually, probably it's closer to 6%. There's a lot of data on this chart. But take a look at the 4-year growth rate of M2. And you can see it's all over the place. You can see in the 60s and 70s, it moved toward double digits, and we ended up with double-digit inflation in the late 70s, early 80s. It took a while to get there, and it seemed to be very sticky. And then after Chairman Volcker came onto the scene, I think that was 1979, he said, we have to get this thing under control. And he started choking money supply. And that momentum actually continued into the mid-90s. And then in the mid-90s,
like 10 years.
it's very
12 years.
interesting because it's somewhat similar to today. In the mid-90s, there was a domino effect of currency devaluations around the world. Our monetary policy was propagating throughout the world because it is the world's reserve asset. And the first devaluation actually was Mexico. And it was a big one. I remember it very clearly because we were involved with Mexican stocks. And then a few years later, we had the Asian domino effect. I think the Thai baht devalued in 1997. And then the rest of Asia's currencies devalued. We had the Russian default in 1998, and then we had long-term capital falling apart. Monetary policy propagates through the system, and when it's so unpredictable, it leads to all kinds of excesses. And so what do we have now, where we see what happened because of COVID? That drove the 4-year annualized growth in M2 up to 12%. And then now we've had a very sharp deceleration, unlike the 70s, 60s and 70s, where there was sort of an acceleration, at least in the sense of a trend, and a stabilization near double digits. Here we had money thrown at the system to prevent an outright depression. And if by the end of the year we stabilize around 0% year-over-year growth, that's year-over-year, this line will drop toward 2 to 3%, which, as you can see, we've only seen once. It was in the 90s, and after that, all hell broke loose around the world. It is interesting to note that the devaluations, there are many devaluations taking place in the rest of the world today. I've mentioned in the past, Egypt devalued by 40% in February or March.
Damn.
The Nigerian naira is down 50 to 60% in the last 9 months.
That's terrible.
We're seeing the Indonesian rupiah devaluing at an accelerated rate. And in Latin America, of course, Argentina basically recognized that the black market had it right, that its currency, at least publicly stated, was about 50% of that rate in the black market.
Damn.
And that was correct. So we're in a very interesting environment, and it's caused by monetary instability around the world. Of course, in emerging markets, anyone with a connection to the internet now pretty much can establish or buy an insurance policy in the form of Bitcoin, which, just flipping back to the halving in this purple line, doesn't look anything like the volatility you see in monetary policy here in the United States and around the world. And of course, it's controlled by human beings. When we went off the gold exchange standard and closed the gold window in the United States in 1971, monetary policy just became unhinged, and it has been unhinged ever since, although human beings have tried to contain the inflationary ramifications, and they take it too far both ways. And right now, we think they're taking it too far on the downside.
Damn. Well, shout out to Altcoin Daily for that video. All right, last but not least, Lark Davis, crypto bull run guide. Most will not make it. Let's see if you will. Let's do it. Guys, that like button, please. Appreciate you.
Most of you are not going to make it in the cryptocurrency market. I'm sorry, but it's true. This market's not kumbaya. We're not all going to perfectly get rich together, achieve the maximum profits, sell the perfect top at the exact time for the most money possible. Absolutely not. This market is chaos. It is a player versus player market, and most of you are going to lose at that game for a variety of reasons.
Listen, we're not going to lose. Just don't sell for a loss and you won't lose. And don't do anything stupid with your money. Don't link up to any airdrops to your wallet. That's probably the best advice I could give you.
The odds are stacked against you in so many ways. There's hacks, there's scams, there's whale games, there's influencers, there's VCs, there's insider deals, there's shitty token drops, there's lack of hype, there's news-driven volatility, giga-brain chads that outperform you in their research and at a technical skill level, and the dumb apes that are just too damn stupid, have too much of a low IQ, and they make more insane risk-reward bets, and they outperform you. They win. But this crypto bull run, despite all of that, will create massive wealth for about 1 in 10 of you. And you can put yourself in that 1 in 10 winning category of investors.
1 in 10, so there's about 20 of us here.
So here are 3 ways broadly to play the market, to try to do that, because I want you to win. I want you to have that financial freedom and sail away on the yacht with the wife and the kids and all that stuff, okay? Number 1, just play it safe. Most of you are going to underperform just buying and holding a limited portfolio of top coins. It's true. Hard to hear, but it's true. For example, portfolio like 20% Bitcoin, 20% Ethereum, 10% Solana, 10% Chainlink, 10% AVAX, maybe 10% into something like Render, Dog with Hat, and Mantle, for example. This is all top 50 stuff.
Listen, Lark, shut up. Render's going to do fine.
Nothing fancy, nothing controversial, no tricks, no rotating around every week to new narratives, no chasing the hot new thing, no farming, no trading, just buy and hold these 8 coins. That's it. It's a small enough number of coins you can easily keep track of it, and yet it gives you a good exposure to a wide range of chains and narratives and earning potential. 10K into such a portfolio will probably turn into 100K by the end of the bull run. And all you need to do is not fuck it up. All you need to do is hold, not get shaken out every time there's a 20, 30% dip in the market. You can hold that till 100K, you're going to do good. If you have limited time in the market, or you just can't handle the stress and the BS, then such a portfolio might not be a bad idea. And just an example, by the
don't F it up part is more or less what he's saying is like, don't just hold it. Like, listen, I've been guilty of it, right? Like, it's going to continue to go up. Like, sometimes it's not going to continue to go up, and you should sell. And guess what? It'll come back down. If you want to buy back in, sure. But like, take the money out at least that you put into it when it's up at that point, right? Sell up here, at least, you know, half of it, or whatever the case may be. If you 2x, then yeah, half of it's probably a good idea. And then you ride the rest if you want to play with the house money. You know what I mean?
By the way, I'm not saying to exactly do that. Obviously, it's just an example, okay? Not financial advice. But a portfolio like that's probably going to outperform most of the market participants. It doesn't need to be complicated, but most of you will make it complicated. I get it. Because at the end of the day, you want more. A 10x return in crypto is buying and holding some stuff and not thinking about it. That doesn't.
That's the greedy part. You always want more.
Sound exciting enough. Which leads me to the next option. Plugging yourself into the freaking matrix. You need to believe that you are Neo. You are the one.
Red or green? Or is it blue?
Exception. You're not the rule. Okay. You will outperform the market. You are a genius. You will play the game. You will not just play a game. You will win the game, and dramatically so. Now, before I break down this investor style, and it's a very interesting one, I just want to let you know. So, plugging into the matrix. You're the plugged in investor. Blue. You are the guy.
Thank you.
Okay. You are the guy who looks at the market as a playground of opportunity. Your capital is mercenary. You have no loyalty to any chains, assets, communities, any of that bullshit. Your job is to find and trade trends and to do it as early as possible. You're in those chat groups. You're in those alpha groups. You're hunting for the next hot meme coin, the next hot narrative or trend or big thing or big chain. Where is the market moving? Wherever it is, you're going to be early and you're going to be long and you're going to be strong. You're going to make that money. You're going to flip that money into the next one. And again, and keep compounding. You're looking to get regular 5 to 10x moves and compound them continually. You're working day and night. Crypto is your obsession. You're here 10, 12 hours a day. You barely sleep. The potential here for gains is massive. But the question you need to ask yourself is it really worth it? And how much will you actually outperform the guy in example 1? Because this option is definitely super time intensive, definitely on the borderline obsessive end. And it's also the higher risk option. Many might even play this game and they're going to get so cocky after a few wins, they're going to hand all their gains right back to the market because they fail to manage the risk, never take any money out of the market. They keep betting more and more and more. They get hacked.
It's no different than freaking playing at a blackjack table. Just happens, sucks you in.
Fished. They bet too much and lose, whatever it might be. You want to win, okay? This requires a very strong mind and an ability to dispassionately view the market, which very few have. And the third way to make money is to find ways to exploit the market. Now, what do I mean by exploit the market? I mean by being clever, by being an intelligent investor. Now, this can be actually a much less time-intensive strategy than what I was just talking about, but does still require you to do research and to take risks, but more calculated risks versus the guy in example 2 who makes much riskier, fast-paced moves. That's the intent of that kind of style. But here are some examples of what I'm talking about to give you an idea. You're looking at, for example, beta plays. So the guy number 1, he's all top tier plays. For example, this guy, you want to look at, you like Solana's, you buy Jupiter. Yeah, Solana's still going to put in nice gains, but Jupiter will almost certainly do bigger percentage gains. So if Solana goes up 5 or 6x, then Jupiter's probably going to go up 10 or 20x.
Makes sense.
This is what beta plays are all about.
That makes sense.
You find the top plays in the top ecosystems. The 2 biggest areas of interest for me here would be exchanges like Jupiter and Aerodrome, particularly the biggest, hottest narrative, Solana and Base right now. You might look other places like Mantle, Avalanche, Sui, for example, and of course, meme coins. Foxy and Brett, for example, who are leaders on their chains. In this same category can be the gigabrain investor, i.e., you have some technical advantages over other market participants, or you're willing to put in the work, because most people are lazy and don't put in the work. For example, buying Bitcoin runes on day one was a pain in the butt. Investors who overcame those limitations were able to be early to that hot narrative, earlier than 99% of the market, when other people wouldn't even touch it because it was too hard. If you were willing to put in the work when it was a bit harder, then you could benefit from that. And there are many such inefficiencies all the time in the market. You just have to look at the water the way that it is, not the way you want it to be. Okay. You can also make interesting uses of your capital. For example, if you have a bunch of Ethereum, you can use it to farm airdrops. And yes, I know some recent airdrops have been lame, but you can still make money in airdrops. Equally, there are great opportunities in DeFi to take that Ethereum and put it in some different protocols. Obviously, now that's risk-free. Protocols get hacked. You can lose all your money like that. Crypto is risky. You can lose all your money. By the way, full risk statement as well as full disclosures in the YouTube description and pinned comment next. So you're taking more risk for more potential reward here compared to guy number one. But also, there's even a way to play it a bit simpler than all that stuff. Look, guy one, he's got his big cap coins, right? And they can do pretty well while taking lower risks. But this investor here, putting in more work, doing a bit more, right? You can actually almost exclusively look at mid cap coins and do really, really well and outperform guy number one. It's a risk reward calculation, right? But you might even do better than guy number one. You can buy 10 coins, nothing in the top 100. Ideally, the focus would be on coins with a market cap lower than $500 million, but you don't want to go anything like insanely risky. So maybe we're just looking at down to like $50 million market cap range. There's actually some really solid coins in that zone. That gives you potential for 20x plus gains. So you're going to outperform guy number one, probably outperform guy number two as well. But again, you're taking bigger risks and nothing is certain. Guy number one has more certainty that he's going to get those gains versus this particular kind of investor. And look, all of us are probably doing a bit of all this. I have most of my portfolio in no stress, long-term bucket, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink kind of stuff. But I play the game. I look for ways to extract money from the market via airdrops and different stuff like that. I'm big into beta plays. I'm big into mid-cap altcoins, low-cap degenerate altcoins.
So like you got to be careful with all these other coins. Well, some of these coins, right?
Contemplate about everything that I've just said here and evaluate if what you are doing actually fits your goals. Because no matter how you approach this, you will need to keep the following in mind. You need to understand the rules of the game, because here's the harsh truth. When the euphoria kicks in and there is massive flood of new money, new retail buyers coming into the market, those people, and I want you to listen to this and understand this, those people are your exit liquidity. That might sound harsh, but it is true. These are the rules of the game. I don't make the rules. True. You don't have to hate the player. Hate the game if you must, but that is the game. It's how the game
it sucks. Like somebody loses, somebody wins. That's how crypto is. It's
played. You're buying low so you can sell high later. The harsh truth is that most investors have no idea what they're doing, and they only come in late and they buy at the highs when the market's massively overheated.
Because everybody's hearing about it. Everyone's talking about it.
Consistently win in this market, and that is to buy low. No matter which of those three strategies you're applying, buy low, then sell high later. Broadly speaking, the market is still low. There have been some epic
that's a big oof. Crypto KJ said his viewers are his exit liquidity.
opportunities recently, of course, to buy the huge market dip. There could be more opportunities. But at some point in the not so distant future, markets are going to have the next leg up. There will be a massive pump. Again, most of that money that comes in during that phase will flood in to buy the local top and then sell the local bottom as we grind higher and higher to a final cycle peak. And people will do it again and again and again, making all the wrong calls until the bear market comes. If you don't believe me, remember we had $1 billion of Bitcoin ETF inflows when the price was $73,000. Zero, literally zero, when the price was $63,000 a few weeks later. And then money started flowing out when Bitcoin hit $57,000. People started panic selling at a loss. This is who you're playing against. And yes, when the time comes, you will need to sell. You will. There are many ways to do that. You can take profits in steps on the way up. You can try to perfectly time the top or miss the top and get out before shit gets really bad and hits the fan with still some really good profits in hand. But no matter how you're strategizing on doing that, there's one thing for certain. If you never sell anything, then you will not make any money. Now, I exclude Bitcoin from that because profits can be taken into Bitcoin, right? BTC can be held intercycle if you want to deal with volatility. You don't have to sell it. as well. Okay, you can just hold it.
If you can avoid looking at your portfolio every 10 seconds as the price goes down, right, or through the bear market, and how bad it sucks. I can't even explain to you where my portfolio was and where it went to during the last bear market, or the one that we're just getting over, right? It sucks to see, but at the same time, like, it all paid off holding it, right? So you got to know when to hold them and when to fold them, right?
Think it's going to go to $1 million, just hold Bitcoin. I don't care. But the day will come when the bear market comes back and all those altcoins that look so damn cool right now, they're going down, man.
A lot
which
of
is
them
all
are,
part of the market cycle. And when the euphoria is high and the greed is all over your timeline, and those top signals are flashing, I made a whole video on that. Go and watch it. Okay, just look up Lark Davis top signals. You'll find it. Link in the description. Actually, throw it in the description. But yes, you will need to sell. You will need to sell, or you will watch that life-changing money evaporate into nothing. Just imagine how it's going to feel. The vast majority of people who do buy low, this is the crazy thing, the vast majority of people who do buy low will simply round trip their bags, watching their paper gains turn likely sometimes from millions into realized losses in the depths of the bear market. You can break down investors kind of like this. Number one, those who buy low and sell high. That's who you want to be. That's maybe 1 in 10 people can actually have the mental fortitude to do that properly. Two, those who buy low and then sell low after watching their portfolio soar to millions. That's a tough one. Don't be that guy. And number three, those who buy high at the market peak and then sell low. That's probably 7 in 10 investors. They'll realize disgusting losses. It's not who you want to be. Okay, that's not where you want to be in the market. And that's not you.
Well, those people, shout out to Locke Davis for this video, by the way, but those people, the people that do that are the ones that are investing money they can't afford to lose, right? And that's the problem here. Anyways, all right, more into the recap segment of things. Looks like Bitcoin is coming back a little bit. We got $63,602 for Bitcoin right now. Ethereum at 31.03. Solana's at $151. I still think Solana's going to do very well this run. Excuse me. Caspa just under 11 cents. Perfect buying opportunity in my opinion. ETC $27. I think ETC is going to do well as well. Dogecoin, look at that, 7 to pull back. 15.8, down 1.51%. Shiba's down 2.2%. Let's see. Biggest loser on the day looks to be Bonk, down 6.5%. Let's see what else we got. HNT's down 4.8 to $5.46. WorldCoin's been doing all right, up 14% on the day, $6.13. Athena up 10.2% today to 88 cents. That's pretty much it, guys. Crazy. Everything's looking pretty good. Anyways, I appreciate you all. What we're gonna do is go raid Miss Randy Hipper now. She's gonna be going live in about 10 minutes. So hopefully you guys have a safe and happy Monday. I will catch you guys later on not tonight. I feel like it's Saturday. I skipped Saturday and I'm all screwed up. Anyways, I'll catch you guys tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm gonna try to put a video together about Tangent and something that I found out about it, which is pretty interesting to me, to say the least. Actually makes me feel better about my whole not wanting to plug my ledger in situation. So you guys have a good day. I'll catch you in a bit. Peace out.